Rambling. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever noticed that you already made the point, but you keep talking anyway? You explain it again, then you add another example, then you add another clarification. And somewhere in the middle of all those extra words, the original message gets lost. It loses its power and it's gone. It constantly happens, especially with intelligent people that have a lot to say. Because rambling doesn't happen from people that have nothing to say. It comes from not fully trusting what you already said. So we keep speaking because silence feels uncomfortable. We explain. We're trying to avoid being misunderstood. We want to sound intelligent. We want to sound kind. We want to sound exciting, control how the other person reacts. And without realizing it, we start confusing clarity with excessive explanations. But they are not the same thing. In fact, over-explaining often creates the opposite effect of clarity. Because the more we add after the point, the less people know what the actual point was. You can hear rambling in phrases like, maybe, just, what am I trying to say? Sorry, let me explain this more clearly. Let's circle back. Oh, I have another example, and so forth. These phrases usually appear after the message was pretty clear, but the speaker no longer trusts the message enough to let it stand on its feet. And this has an interesting effect because the issue is that the conversation becomes longer and boring. The issue is that the speaker often sounds less certain because they actually are. And like we said, communication, it's not just about content, it's about energy. And when someone constantly explains, re-explains, softens, the room starts to become a bit uncertain. They think maybe the idea is not good. I see this all the time, and it might have happened to you. The idea is valuable, but instead of stopping, people continue to talk for another 2 minutes, trying to make everyone agree. And ironically, that's often the exact moment when people start to disagree. Because powerful communication often has structure. You have frameworks of communication. And one of the simplest structure for stopping rambling is clear idea, supporting argument, pause. Not. Idea, explanation, second explanation, apology, third explanation, nervous filler, and then stopping. And I think this is important. Sometimes rambling is not a communication problem. It's actually an emotional regulation issue. We keep talking because we are uncomfortable with uncertainty. We want immediate reassurance that people understand us, that they agree, that they validate us, that we sound intelligent, but we don't want to upset anyone. However, confident communicators tolerate something that many people avoid, and that is uncertainty, silence after the point. They say the thing and they let it breathe, even if it's uncomfortable for a few seconds, because they understand something important. More words do not automatically create more power. Sometimes they dilute it. So the next time you want to make a point, try this. Say the idea. One supporting argument, then stop. Allow the silence to exist. Without rescuing it, dare it. Because powerful communication is not about filling every second with words. It's about trusting your message long enough to let it stand on its own 2 feet. So, 3 things you could do next time. Decide your main point before speaking. Before you start talking, ask yourself, what is one thing I would like people to remember? One catchphrase. If you don't know the main point, you'll be searching for it while speaking. Use the point, example, stop structure that I was talking about earlier. Keep your communication simple. Say the idea. Give one example or argument. Stop talking. Stop talking. Most people lose power in the extra explanation after the message was already clear. Practice tolerating silence after making a point. Pause 3 seconds instead of filling up the space immediately. Silence is uncomfortable at first, but it's powerful to the listen because they have a time to process what you're saying. You're processing now. So, confident communicators don't rush to rescue every quiet moment. They dare to stand in the moment so people have time to process it and actually action on that idea. Dare it. You won't die. I promise you.